Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lucie's Inspiring Stories. Now, today's guest doesn't just talk about resilience, she has lived it. Not only has she lived it, but quite literally fought her way back to life. My guest, Jodie Santandrea-Ruano, is a certified Maxwell Leadership Coach. She's an international best-selling author, a wellness advocate, a woman who truly embodies what it means to live life full force. Now, hi, Jodie. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing, Lucy?
Thank you for being my guest today.
Yes, my dog's making noises in the background.
That's okay.
Don't mind her.
He's thanking you also for being here.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Okay. So, Jodie, before we dive in, how are you arriving into this conversation today? I know your dog is at the door scratching, but how else do you feel right now?
It's great being here with you, and getting the stories out. And I like helping others. So this is a great platform for that.
Great, thank you. So, I know that you've had several lives, as you jokingly say, but one defining moment was being placed on life support with only 1 to 4 chance of survival.
Yes,
Can you,
yes.
can you take us back to that moment and share what shifted inside of you at that moment?
Well, luckily for me, I had started doing the mindset journey, right? I was doing self-development. I was doing those things.
Hmm.
So I always had that piece of me that said, I'll be fine. Don't worry. Because they were saying, oh, you got to be put on a ventilator. There's all this chance. No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Well, unfortunately, it ended up where, they tested my artery for oxygen, and the doctor came in within a certain amount of time, pretty much said, you're going to be on a ventilator. You're going to have a trach. You're going to have a hole in your neck. You have a 1 in 4 chances of living, and you got 5 minutes to tell your family. So right then and there, it was like, this is real. Like, okay. I said 3 prayers and I went under, and I was gone for quite a while. They had put me on the ECMO machine. That and the medical saved my life. I went through a lot of things.
Oh my God.
I came out, I couldn't speak, I couldn't write, I couldn't walk. I lost a lot of my muscle mass. So now I could have had, I'm going to say after I got out and I got home, I think I took about 3 days where I kind of was like, I can't believe this is happening, And I went through my life and I said, Jesus has always had my hand. Like, I realized that. And I just said, nope, I'm going to get myself as healthy as I can. I'm going to give myself 1 year, because by this time I had already had my speaker training certificate. I had all my stuff,
Right,
but I
ready
couldn't
to go.
talk.
Yeah.
Right. But I couldn't talk. So I was like, I don't even know if I can still do this. And so, yeah, I gave myself 1 good year, and I've been trucking ever since.
My God. Well, is there something that you could tell us that you did? What did you know after that experience that you didn't know before?
Well, I unfortunately had an experience when I was like 15 years old
I want to talk about.
where,
Mhm.
yeah, I got a fractured skull, and I almost passed away then.
Right.
So I knew life was precious. I knew, but I was 15. So, you go through life and you just kind of go along the way. I just really realized that, when he said, tell you got 5 minutes, to me, it was like, who are my friends and my family that I have 5 minutes to contact?
Right.
And I realized at that moment, are your friends and family, are you their 5 minutes? And I realized that sometimes you're not. And I realized that you need to bring those 5 minute people in your life. And those are the most important people in your life. And so that's kind of what I started with. And it was sort of shocking, realizing that.
Right. Oh my God.
So,
Sure. Well, one thing I deeply admire in your belief that we go through, that whatever we go through does not define us.
right.
How did you reclaim who Jodie is beyond that trauma?
Um, well, I went into DNA. I checked all the boxes on that and figured out, wow, this is what I can do to better myself. I don't need to be a product of what happened to me. I don't have to be a product of what my parents were. It's my DNA, yes, but I have ways to like reclaim my health. I have ways to get the knowledge that I need to keep pursuing myself better every single day. So it was like, you just have to be 1% better every day. Right. So that's how it is. And just like I told you with the cups refillable, right? People will ask all the time, is your cup, half empty or half full? Right. And I'm like, no, it's refillable, because that's the way you need to see life. You get people that were like, Mondays. I'm like, what? Why don't you look at it like it's a Friday? Why don't you look at it differently?
Yeah.
And if you start doing those things, your life gets so much better.
Right. And is that why you called your website, your website Live Life Full Force? Because it's at the heart of it. The heart of it is being present, right? Being in the moment, right?
It's being in the moment, but saying yes to what aligns with you. So, and also have adventures, have things, do things that, you would say, oh, you know what? I really can't because of this or whatever. You know what? Take the trip to Europe. That's what I did. Mm-hmm. Do the things that you're scared of, right. or just anything. It's like, just be present in the now, put down your phones. Just everything, just be right there, be within yourself.
Was that something you always knew, or is that something that life forced you to learn?
I think life forced me to learn along the way. Yeah. I know some people ask me, were you born like that? Were you this? Yeah. I've always been I've been adventurous. I've had things, and I've always, but being sick and being the things that have happened to me has changed me along the way. So I would say I've built it. It's something, especially when you're learning, right? Because I really didn't like high school. I wasn't into school too much. I was kind of always this and that, right? And then at some age, all of a sudden, I really liked history. All of a sudden, I really just started learning, and that's pretty much what it is. So I'm always learning, because you always need to keep going forward. Otherwise, you're just stuck, and then you're like, oh, this is my life. Yay. Okay. You only have one life. Live it,
Live it and grow, because if you're not growing, then you're
stagnant.
Yeah, you're going the other way. And
exactly. Yeah. So, and that as well, you do really well yourself, so that's the thing. You can't, otherwise you're just gonna be stuck.
Yeah. I love the way you blend mindset and epigenetic DNA testing and innovative wellness tools, like I think your LifeWave X39, right?
Yes.
Now, for someone listening who may feel maybe overwhelmed by all the wellness noise, because a lot of it sounds like wellness noise. We hear it all the time.
Yes.
What do you want them to? What is it they need to understand first?
Okay, so the thing about wellness and anything is that the first thing I think you should do is get your DNA, get your test for epigenetics, because that will steer you in the right spot of where you can start for your health. So if you have gut issues, you've got this going on, whether or not you have an APO gene, whether you have the MTHFR gene, this can help so much, because you might be on medications that are not good for you. Yeah. So if you have an APO gene, right, you shouldn't be on cholesterol meds. Yeah. So there's people, and we don't know, and then you start stacking, and it starts stacking, and then all of a sudden you're taking so many medications. So I just think that's the number one thing, is kind of learn that. I would start at a younger age. I wish I was able to start at a younger age, but at least start, and that's something. So
yeah, that would be. I'm smiling because here I am at this wonderful age of myself, and
be proud of your age.
Well, that's for sure. But I am. But I was just talking to my sister, I think, when I went back to Montreal to celebrate my big 80, and she's done her DNA testing, and she wanted me to do it, and we were going to do it, and we were going to do it, and I don't know what happened. It was one day after the other, and we never got it done. And it's something I want to get done. So yes, I think that is really essential. I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
And of course,
No
there's
matter what
ones
age
that are
you are.
right. And they've got ones that you can do like on Ancestry, and they do those kind. But mine is more entailed. Mine gets very deep into your like all sorts of cracks that you might not have. So snippets, things like that. So there's different kinds that you can do. But if you want to go, a cheaper route, then you can do those ones. And then there's more expensive ones. So just
Well,
depending on what you're looking for.
You start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter. Just get it started.
For you, humor is essential, right? And clearly
Yes.
you've kept yours even through the hardest seasons. How has humor helped you survive and heal?
Well, laughter is the best medicine, as they say, right?
Yeah.
So you got to keep going. You got to laugh at the little things. I wish I knew that when I was younger. I always had humor, but I was always a little stressed, right? I always thought I was a big thinker. I always got into things too much. And that was another thing that getting ill, it was like, why stress about those things? Like, just let it go, So I've kind of learned to adapt that little scenario. So,
yeah. We talked a little bit about this. And most people don't know that you're really into genealogy.
Yes, very much so.
And so what has discovering your roots taught you about the purpose and the resilience and legacy?
Well, the funny part is I have a lot of, like, one of my branches has a lot of historical people in it. From presidents to Elvis Presley to,
Wow.
I have a lot. Okay. And it is awesome. And I love looking back. I like seeing what might be, similarities. And just like when I was learning, right?
Mhm.
Everybody was talking about Napoleon Hill, right?
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, Napoleon Hill, you start learning about, well, he's my cousin. So it was sort of funny. He was actually my 9th cousin. It's further away, but it's neat, right? Because now you're in the same entrepreneurship as Napoleon Hill. Like, everybody likes him. So, or most people like him. And it was just like, this is crazy. So it's kind of nice. I like it. Not everybody likes it. Some people will be like, oh yeah. But I enjoy it. And it also helped me with travel, because I actually go to the places that I find out that I have ancestors, and I take photos and I then put it on Ancestry. And I think it's great. So.
Oh, that's great. I'm just thinking about what you just said about Napoleon Hill. I know that you and I are involved in a book, The Art of Connection, Volume 6, which is 365 days about resiliency. And of course, we just had a meeting, which, I was there today. And one of the things that's going to happen when we go to New York City this time to promote the book is Hill's grandson's going to be there.
Isn't that fabulous? Because they don't know that I'm related to him. I've never said that to Robert. I've never told anybody. So this is going to be fun. So I'm going to be excited to pull it up and show him that we're cousins. A little distance, but we're still cousins.
I want to be there that moment that you do that. It's just such an
Napoleon. Yes, that will be great, right? Like, nobody knows. You're the first person to know that.
Well, he's going to be one of the main speakers, so maybe you could just do that beforehand. I know what we do. We have okay. We'll have to get together.
Okay, we'll talk about it, but we'll do something for sure.
Okay, I know that you've learned from so many world-class mentors. Ed Millett. Actually, you mentioned that one of your favorite books is his Max Out.
Max Out. Yep.
And
Ed Millett.
Obviously, John Maxwell, because your sister.
I'm certified by him. Yes.
Your certification comes from him. Tony Robbins and Maya Comerota, which those two are also my mentors. Is there one lesson that truly changed how you lead your life today?
One of the lessons, oh goodness, I know, I think I wrote it down for you, but now I can't remember what I wrote. Wow, one of the lessons. What did I write? I cannot remember right now. Do you remember what I wrote? Because I have different things in my head.
Well, just tell me what comes up for you immediately.
You know, goodness, you got me on the spot right now. I know that, like I said, Jesus held my hand, right? And I know that no matter what happens, that faith and truth and just helping others is a part of what my purpose is. So it's it's like making sure you're aligned with your purpose, making sure you figure that out. And through all the people that I've listened to, because I had Brenda Bouchard, I've had a lot of people that have helped me through this stuff, learning process. But Ed Milet, like, maxed out, like, live your life maxed out, live your life, live life full force. It's just, that is the main thing. You need to do that, because otherwise you're not living.
Well, actually, you're living your life full force, all the way around. Not only that, but your websites call that. And so,
yes.
So.
And I'm going to start hopefully on a book series as well, and getting women to be a part of that as well, to show, what have you done to live life full force? So.
Right. I do want to ask you this, because I usually ask all of my guests, in your industry, there's a myth in your industry, perhaps, that you want to debunk. So is there something that comes to your mind immediately that perhaps you'd like my audience to know about, that people have strange ideas about coaching and.
Yeah, well, it's one of the things of coaching, of going, we're learning. It's a learning process.
Yes.
And we're always learning. And some people think, well, everybody needs a coach. I've always said that, like, everybody needs a coach. So whether I'm a coach or not, I still need a coach. And you look for a coach, maybe because I've done this much, that you would look for a coach that has done that. And then you're just kind of like, oh, a couple years ahead. Oh, okay. Stick with that, Right. But there's always learning. There's always, I don't know, bounce something off of me, and then I'll remember.
For me, when I think of coaching, I think, and people throw around the word transformation a lot. Oh my God, and people have a strange idea that transformation is going to happen perhaps with an event, someone said something, and I don't see transformation that way.
Right. No, transformation in general is, you start out here, you learn a little, and you implement it, right? And then you learn a little and you implement it. So somebody might come across, right, that, oh, they know everything. Now, it has been a learning experience for probably 10 years.
Right.
By the time we get to the point where we want to coach, we've already been in it almost 5-10 years. And of course, we're going to know stuff, and we're going to go, and we're going to keep learning. And so we bring it to you. Right. So that's kind of, transformation does not happen overnight. So no,
it doesn't.
You can't.
It's a lifetime process, as far as
it is.
And to your point about coaching, I personally would not be coached by a coach who didn't have a coach.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You want to have somebody that,
because
you're always learning.
You're always learning, and you're expanding your learning,
Yes.
And really, the transformation is becoming a better yourself tomorrow than you are today.
Exactly. That's the 1% better every day.
That's right. That's how I see it, for sure. If if someone is just starting out, whether it's in wellness, if it's in coaching, or they're just trying to reclaim their life, what advice would you give them right now?
Well, come find me, that would be number one.
We're going to talk about that.
But, it's just, like I said, it's doing the 1% every day. So, you know what, maybe you don't make your bed every day, right? Maybe you don't do that. Guess what? Start making your bed.
Absolutely.
Right? You are having a hard time working out. First thing, put your clothes on, workout clothes, right? So it gets you ready. Okay, I'm going to do that. Start blocking time. Start doing things that are going to benefit you. Don't try to do it all at once. You're not going to do it. So it might look like, oh, she does this. Well, I've been doing it for 10 years, or I've been doing it for this years, or whatever it may be. I didn't start out that way. I didn't start out or, well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, in one day. No, you can't do that. Otherwise, you overwhelm yourself.
Absolutely. So take one step at a time, one
Yes.
little step at a time.
Yes.
So we talked about, contact me. So I want to talk to my audience for a minute. So
Okay.
I know that most of you will see this interview, watching the replay, and that's a given. But I just want to let you know that on this platform, we have what we call to the left, to the right of me, over there, we have what we call CTA buttons, which are call to action buttons. And the good news about what these buttons are in the replay, they're live during the replay. So if you want to contact Jodie, if you want to connect with her, click the middle button, and that will take you to her LinkedIn page. That way you can message her and contact her there. If you want, and we're going to talk a little bit about the books that she's co-authored, if you want to perhaps buy the books, they're on Amazon, and you want to grab a copy, click the bottom CTA button, call to action button, and that will take you right to the Amazon site where you can buy the copy that you want. And so there is another way that you can also reach out to her, and I'll let Jodie tell you that. Jodie, you want to talk a little bit about your website?
Yeah, sure. So if you go to livelifefullforce.com, that's my website. And that way you can kind of get an idea about me a little bit more. And then if you want to have a strategy call, you can call me, or you can also set up an appointment. So there's those two options. The other option is I'm on Facebook. So that's my name. You can look up. I'm the only one. And, talk to me that way. I also have an Instagram. And I think I have another one that has like all my health. What is that one called?
Linktree.
Linktree. Yes. Thank you. So my Linktree has all of my health connections in there as well. Yeah.
So, and it's true, her name is unusual, but if you type in Jodie, Jodie, her name comes up immediately. I want to ask you about your name. Could you explain Santandrea-Ruano? Explain that to me.
Oh, well, Santandrea is my Italian name.
Okay.
So, yes. And then Ruano was my married name. But I'm actually going through something, and so I'll be dropping that last name at some point. So I'll just be Jodie Santandrea in the future. So
thank you for that explanation, because I wondered about it. It's a mouthful to pronounce.
Well, it is, yes.
And so is mine, Rosa-Stagi. Rosa is my maiden name. Can you believe it?
Right.
And Stagi is my ex-husband's name, and I should have to drop it, and I should have done it when I was in California, but I didn't. So
there you go. See, that's what happens. Well, I was kind of like everybody. All my plaques, all my books had Santandrea-Ruano, and just like the Library of Congress, because we're in the Library of Congress, which you can see in the back of yours. It's really great. So this book has been, fabulous for that stuff. But yes, this new book, I'm just known as Jodie Santandrea.
We're talking about this book that you see behind me.
Yes.
It's called The Art of Connection. And it actually has a best-selling stamp, or I think, what do you call it?
It's a bestseller, international stamp, and bestseller stamp. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So, yes, we are international bestsellers.
Yes. And Library of Congress, which is like fabulous. And I'm also in a magazine. We got to promote the magazine too. So I am on the cover of the magazine that we have. And so we can get copies of that too.
And can they find that on your LinkedIn? I'm sure
they actually can find that on my Facebook and LinkedIn. I think I have it connected. If not, I will be connecting it shortly. So
this is a new magazine that goes along with the two books that we have for The Art of Connection, the quote book and the journal. And now we've come out with a magazine. And Jodie is the very, very, very first one on the cover of this magazine. So she's made history.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Well, because I know it's probably going to be really famous one day.
I hope so.
Jodie, you've shared so much wisdom today, but if you could leave our audience with one final thought, something they would remember tomorrow morning, what would that be?
Well, I pretty much said everything there, Lucie.
Mhm.
Pretty much, just say yes to what aligns with you and no to what doesn't.
There you go. That's really wise words. So please repeat it, and please tell the audience one more time the name of your website very slowly.
Okay, it's
Live
live life
life
full force.com.
force.com. That's right. Okay. So, Jodie, as we bring this conversation to a close, for the, I just want to say that I want to thank you for being who you are. I'm so glad you made it through that horrible situation. And I just want to show it goes to show us that mindset is 80% of everything that we do.
Yes, I
Would you
believe that.
agree? Okay. So
I
so
agree.
thank you. Thank you very much for living and leading life full force.
There you go. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.